We're snorting cap rates and shooting up cash flow here at Deal Junkies. Welcome back to Deal Junkies. Happy 4th of July. Happy 250th birthday, America. We love you.
Yeah.
We got all the Deal Junkies here in the podcast studio, the SMI podcast studio, and Trevor made us a cool little 4th of July thing. If you're watching this, that's pretty sweet.
And this T-shirt.
It's red, white, and blue. Oh, and a T-shirt.
I made the T-shirt.
You guys are really into this thing.
This is coming out.
I love
It's a
this
big deal.
holiday.
This is a big deal.
Yeah, it'll be a little late.
It'll be a post.
America's
4th
the
of July.
best country on earth.
Yeah. It has to
The
be
United
because
States of
Salem, you
America.
said, is the best city on
Salem
Earth,
is
and
the-
it's in America.
Correct.
So.
You're starting to get
That correlation has to be real.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about, listen, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the greatest real estate deal
of all
time.
Yeah.
Are we going to say what it is yet? Or are we
No,
going to
no.
leave that for later?
We'll hold
I
it.
didn't
Okay.
do any
Okay, we're-
research yet. I'm not prepared.
We're not sure.
I did some prep on the deal.
We're not
I mean, I've
sure.
known about this deal. It's
Yeah.
historic.
It's the
deal.
greatest
Yeah.
deal of all time in all deals.
I think
In
it
the
is.
world.
People are
I think
getting
it is.
excited to talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people already know.
And then we're going to talk about how you
What's your
guys.
guess?
What?
What's their guess?
Oh, what
Oh,
guess?
it's-
Of what
Can
it
you
is?
Listening
guess?
right now, make a guess.
Make a
Yeah,
guess what the
yeah.
best real estate deal was of all time.
The purchase of the White House.
The White House.
I
used
think
to be
that was a
dump.
construction loan. I think that was a construction deal.
Okay, what else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about how you guys ran 50 miles because you couldn't make it 250 for America. You got weak.
Yeah,
you
we
could
quit.
only run 50.
There's an actual registered buyer and seller.
Yeah. No, it was like a legal. I mean, they had escrow. Yeah.
Who did the escrow on this deal?
Well, hold on. We'll get into
I
that.
can
Was it a,
explain.
was
I
it a
can
local escrow?
It was.
We're
Well, not
interrupting
local
the
to us.
interrupting
Who
the
offered
introduction.
title insurance on this deal?
That it's all clean.
So-
it is all clean.
Oh,
Okay.
this is a distress sale.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, for sure.
If you want to,
It's also a wholesale.
for reference, how far 50 miles is and what we did, we essentially ran from Salem to Portland.
Oh,
But then we ran up and down Mount Hood twice on the way there.
That's ridiculous.
It was fun.
Who would, in their right mind, would want to do that? Would you want to? I guess you've done stuff like that.
There was
but
a
I've
bunch
never
of
done
60-year-old ladies doing it, and they beat us.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
They're faster than you.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
faster than us. Yeah,
Oh.
we were like, we finished because us three were running together with Dane's other buddy, or my other buddy, I guess now. We spent 12 and a half hours
You
together.
stole Dane's
we're
buddy.
buddies. We're
It
buddies
only
now.
took 50 miles to steal Dane's buddy.
And we finished like 47th, 48th, and 49th. And then there was
Who-
like
who went
103
first?
runners.
Who did you let cross first?
Nick cross first.
Did he?
Yeah.
Is that your buddy?
Yeah.
That's why. That's why he's Trevor's buddy.
Yeah,
they were
he
fighting it over.
And then I
Trevor
filmed them
pulled Dane back.
crossing.
We wanted Nick to cross first because Nick had the flu the last time we were supposed to run this thing, and he ran 30 miles with the flu, and then his lower body was cramping for a while, and he was kind of pushing through that. And then his shoulders and chest started cramping, so his like arms were like looked
Twitching.
like yeah, he looked like he was afflicted. Yeah.
So
And
how many times did you guys throw up during this 50 miles?
I felt really good.
this time I didn't throw up.
You didn't throw up at all?
No, I threw up last time a bunch though.
Dane felt pretty bad, but Dane also, I was running behind him and he twisted his ankle
Oh my
90
goodness.
degrees. Dude, I was right behind him and it went 90
It was
degrees
so bad.
sideways.
How many
felt
miles were you in
I
on
felt
that?
the little ball on the side of my ankle touch the ground.
Dude, my ankle would have
We
broke.
were like 12 miles in, and Trevor was like, should
Trevor
we
started
stop?
looking for you.
Should we stop? I was like, I mean, we got a long ways to go. I don't know if we should stop.
So you ran another 38 miles on a broken ankle?
I mean, it was like,
Did it turn out fine?
yeah, it was bruised for a couple
He must
days.
have really flexible ankles because, dude, mine would have just, like, my bone would have broke if it did that.
Snap.
Yeah, like, my ankle can't bend that well. It was the craziest thing I
It's not you
saw.
have joints that are like.
It was pretty far.
Dude, well, it's crazy, too, because you're running, like, this was as hard as probably running 100 miles on, like, street. because you got to pay attention the whole time. So I'd be dicking around and like fixing my water, dude. And I would
almost
pick a rock. And
you're wearing a little backpack thing
yeah,
with the
and I would be messing around and fixing something and not paying attention. And you kick a rock, and then you're almost face down into a stump, and you got to catch yourself. That happened like 7 times. Like I would have just smashed my head into like a
died so many
jaded. Yeah, stump.
life
you're
insurance.
off-road. This is an off-road race.
Yeah, you're on the ridge on Mount Hood, like going up and down.
I saw your
like,
little map thing you did, Strava or whatever.
It's insane.
You're running along the ridge of the mountain. Isn't this one you did before?
I had done part of it.
No, I did this.
He did it before, and
And
then
you
I
like
did part
pooped your
of it.
pants or something?
Well, that's Dane. I don't poop my
I
pants on
did
runs.
not do that on
that run.
When you're trying to
that
run 50 miles, you can make sacrifices, all right?
Okay, so we've established you guys are
And I got
ridiculous.
attacked by a turkey vulture. Or
Oh
like
my
a
goodness! It was a
grouse.
A grouse.
I don't
yeah.
know if it was a grouse.
It was chasing you?
Smokes.
Yeah. Tiny.
This thing was. Oh, maybe it
this,
wasn't.
This was
it was
pretty big.
Yeah, we were just all running.
Aren't
And
they
It was a
Trevor's
wild
small?
turkey.
Trevor's in the back of the pack, and there's this bird standing on the edge of the trail, like eyeballing us, and you could see it from pretty far. And then it's a big bird, and the whole time we're running, it's like looking at us. And then as we pass it, it kind of like flares up a little bit. We run past it, and it starts chasing Trevor.
Dude, it's terrifying.
Just Trevor.
Trevor was.
Well, I was at the
freaking
back.
out.
I was yelling at them, grab something, throw something at it.
Throw something! Help! Help!
I'm just running, and then it's getting closer and closer. And I turn around and I tried to kick it, but we're like 30 miles in, so my legs don't work that well.
Not kick it.
Maybe it just thought you were its mom or something. It was just thought it was going to come run the race
I
with
can't
you.
quit grouse. Some activist is going to come lock you
Dude.
up on Mount
Dude,
Hood.
and then
You
there was
can't do that
black
in
bears
Oregon.
out there too.
You saw
Yeah.
bears?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
we were not paying close enough attention because the lady
I was looking down.
We ran up to some lady, she was running, and she's like, "Did you see that bear climbing the tree right there?"
Yeah. We were like, did you get attacked by that bird? And she was like, did you see the black bear? And we're like, what? No.
That was a distraction.
I was distracted
They were
by the
working
2-pound
together.
bird.
The bird and bear were working together. They're about ready to eat.
We
you.
ran this thing in 12 and a half hours. The person who finished first ran it in 7.5 hours.
Jeez.
They're
Yeah.
a lot faster.
And we called who it was before
Oh,
the race
yeah.
started because
It was like 40 degrees outside.
it snowed while we were running.
Yeah. Yeah.
In June or
Was it
July.
a man or woman who won it?
It was a
guy.
dude. And then a woman finished second, I think.
I don't think so.
Did he weigh like
Or third.
90 pounds or how'd you call it?
No,
Dude, he was. There's a hill at the beginning where you like meet up, and he's just sprinting up the hill before the race starts to warm up. Like he's running up and down the.
54-mile race.
And we're just standing there. It's like 40 degrees.
Seems like you got a few miles you could warm up as you get going.
I was like, we got a couple uphillers coming. Like, you could just run those. Yeah. No, he was doing sprints up the hill. And I
That's
was
part
like,
of his plan, intimidation.
that guy's a
Yeah.
monster.
There's still a race. You still got other people you got to just dominate.
He finished like an hour before.
So 7.5, 54, what's the pace?
Dude, he's running like
He was running like
8 minute
eights.
miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
we
On
did like
incline off-road
with
in the
8,000
mountains?
feet of elevation.
on the
gain.
mountain. Yeah. And it's like
That's insane.
He climbed 2 mountains, 2 normal-sized mountains.
part of the downhill is like gravel shale that you
Yeah,
can like
it's hard
barely
to go
walk
down.
down. Like
Yeah.
just like the downhill isn't like you can
That
just
much
sprint
faster.
down it. Yeah. And he probably sprinted
That
down
dude
it,
must have been ripping 5s.
See,
down the
again, like
hills.
if you have less mass in your weight, you're not sliding on those rocks. You take big
That's
dudes
true.
like us trying to go downhill on those rocks, and it's catastrophic.
Oh, I would just sit down and slide down on my butt.
we almost
ligaments
slid.
and shit.
Yeah.
All right, we getting into this deal or what? We're like
Mike wants to talk about the best deal
yeah,
ever.
dude, I want to be American.
Dude,
It's
you don't
July
even
4th.
you just
Let's
learned
go.
about this today.
Should we sing like an American song or read
What
the
do you mean I just learned about it? I've known about this deal my
You
my
just said,
entire life,
wait, I
but-
need to chat GPT this real quick.
No, like
wait,
actual
wait.
details.
Big details.
Yeah.
Dane was going to read the whole Declaration of Independence, I thought. Are we not
I
gonna do
opened it
that?
up. Turns out it's pretty long.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's too long.
Yeah.
Thomas
Who would've thought?
Jefferson was a really good
Can you
writer.
give us the cliff notes of it?
They're trying to form a more perfect union. That was the goal of the Declaration.
Did
of
they do
Independence. It's
It's more perfect, but it's not perfect.
Was
As long as we had more land to settle and we could get away from other human beings, we're good. But once we got densified,
Yeah, we got problems again.
it got bad.
We got to go find a new place.
now interpretation starts to swing a pendulum a little bit.
Well, you know what? I thought everyone that lived in America thought it was the greatest country ever. I learned that's not true.
Isn't that weird?
Those people, it's more outside, like people that want to come to America for whatever reasons.
Well, yeah, when we're traveling and like people are like, "Oh, I want to come to America," I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you should check it out." And they're like,
All
I
the time.
can't.
Yeah.
I have to get a visa. I was like, "What is that?" And I learned our passport.
You're like,
just
"Here, borrow
lets-
my visa.
Yeah, our passport lets us go to basically everywhere, but not everyone can come
they
here.
can't come.
But the first take was when we were interviewing Leica, and she was like, "I would rather live in India than America." I was like,
Well, she'd
"What?"
rather do deals in
Fun fact about that, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just do it.
And we can go build stuff next to waterfalls, she said. That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. I'd say go for it.
Let's do it.
That sounds like a nightmare building next to a waterfall.
That's a one-way street.
Getting like
That's a one-way street.
dynamite
You
into
can
rock and shit.
You can go there.
You can't come back.
Well, you can come back, but the people over there aren't coming over here.
I saw someone just got a government loan for a hospitality new build cabins.
Where?
I don't know. I don't know enough about the deal, but
Cabins.
yeah, cabins. The government's loaning on cabins, a business loan essentially for fucking resorting.
Was it like a national
totally
park
do
or
that.
something?
Yeah.
No, like a short-term rental.
Yeah, that's
But like
that qualifies
At
for
like a national park or
SBA.
something?
I don't think so.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's an SBA loan.
Yeah, you can do SBA for because it's like a hotel
30-year
business.
loan. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know why Salem's the greatest though?
Why?
I've been doing this each day. So
Making a list of all
Name
the
another
things
city
about
you can do this in. Trevor, go.
okay, so I get up,
I got it up.
go swim, bike, or run, lift, go to work, then come home. I'll play pickleball.
Where else can
I'll
you do
jet
that?
ski. I'll shoot my bow, and then we'll wake surf all in the same day.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
You can't do that anywhere other than Salem?
Nope.
I haven't found a spot. The closest spot, Lake Sammamish in Washington, or Sausalito in California. I think those are the only two comparable
Sausalito's pretty cool.
Wow.
places.
Wow. Yeah, you can't do it in Portland
No, definitely not.
or Albany or fucking Corvallis or Eugene.
No, you can't. You can't.
There's no water?
Can't shoot
boats?
There's no water close enough to
Oh, it's
where
the
you can do
boat
all
part.
that
You
stuff.
can't shoot
What are
your
you
bow
talking
there.
about? Absolutely there is. All right, let's get on to this freaking deal, okay?
Mike
Okay.
disagrees. He
All right.
thinks Portland's better.
All right. Do we want to summarize the declaration a little bit
Don't
more?
you know? Do
No,
you
we
know
want-
about this deal?
I know about the
Details?
deal.
Okay,
Tell
break us
about
down.
it.
Break
What
it.
year
I
was
might-
it? What year was this?
1808.
Okay, the
1803.
greatest real estate
That's
deal
really
of all
close.
time
Oh.
was in 1808.
1803.
1803, my bad.
Oh,
Was it really 1803?
Yeah. Well, at least ChatGPT says it was between two individuals.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, you tell us the details. you correct the details.
The buyer was the United States.
Yeah, the buyer was the U.S.
But it shows the seller as an individual.
The seller was an individual,
That's
Did
crazy.
they get a good deal?
technically.
That's crazy. No, they were desperate. So
Are we going
this
to tell
is
them
like-
what the deal is?
this
Tell us
is
the
the
deal.
beauty. Like, this is the anti-infinite game mindset. So the quote here is, I'd rather have cash today than land I can't effectively use.
It's true.
I would rather have land.
Can't effectively use.
I think.
Well,
Depends-
that-
Unless
probably
you can
based
shoot
on
your
this
bow
amount
on,
of
if you can
cash.
shoot your
So-
bow on the land and
That's just
jets
looking
to-
short term, right? It's like, what's more util right now? Cash that I can spend or land that I can't use. So he just doesn't see value in land because you can't use it.
I think that's fair.
And to the seller's purpose, they didn't have a purpose for it. So to them, effectively,
They had a
What is
purpose for
this?
one part of it. It's the Louisiana Purchase.
Ooh, the
Yeah.
Louisiana.
So the
Purchase.
seller is Napoleon, and
Dynamite?
the reason, yes, if we've all seen the film, that's what it's based on. That's what
Napoleon
it
Dynamite.
happens a little later, but yeah, the film didn't really cover it. That was the backstory.
and set it up.
But the reason that they wanted to sell it was because it was a huge trade route. And so it was the New Orleans port. And then it was also part of Florida. And so Thomas Jefferson, president at the time, sent Monroe and some other guy. Do you have the other guy on there? I can't remember his
generals?
name. Yeah, but Monroe's the one that matters here.
So I thought Thomas Jefferson didn't want to send them, and they said we should really have this, and they just went and then started.
No.
Generals that Thomas Jefferson sent to negotiate the deal.
So he sends these two guys,
Important.
and
I mean,
they
the-
have
the deal. Like, these are the brokers, right?
correct essentially. Well, they're they would be the
owner rep.
owner rep, yeah, but it's a what is it? An ambassador. So they were an ambassador on behalf of Thomas Jefferson,
the
right?
United
The U.S. Yeah,
They're representing
And so-
the United States.
James
Thomas
Monroe and Robert R. Livingston.
Yeah, that's right.
And where are they headed to?
So they're headed to Britain, right?
To meet with.
To meet with Napoleon and then a few other people that are a big part of the British government, which is actually important because one of the guys made kind of a judgment call in the moment. And the goal of the deal was Thomas Jefferson said, you have $10 million, if I remember right. You have $10 million and you can go buy, you have to go buy Florida. The Floridas is what it was considered.
Just New Orleans.
And New Orleans, because they wanted the New Orleans port.
This says to buy New Orleans and, if possible,
The
Floridas.
Yeah.
So like you're representing your
Floridas?
company. They give you a $10 million check and say, go buy this thing, and then if you can get some other pieces, do it.
Yeah.
What was the floor does?
So I think the Floridas at the time was like,
Keys and everything.
yeah, but it was also like different parts of the East Coast.
Okay.
Like further north than Florida, technically, is right now.
So the borders weren't drawn the same.
No, not at the time.
So this is owned by Britain.
So it's owned by, that's actually a good question.
Oh, this is
No,
great.
it's not owned by Britain at the time. So
France.
Britain,
Well, they had
Britain had a treaty.
no. It was just Napoleon. So he had a finance minister, Francois Marbois.
Yeah.
Unexpectedly, I'll leave that part out. But so he had a finance minister, but it was the United States.
Yeah.
But they did go to France. So
They went to France, but it was with Britain.
Livingston was the U.S. minister to France, who had already been in Paris trying to negotiate the purchase.
So,
Yes.
So France, the country, owned it.
Yes, sorry. It was France owned it, and they were going to war with Britain. That was the mistake. So they're going to war with Britain, and they didn't actually own it, which is the funniest part because it's the craziest wholesale deal of all time. And they actually, I think, could have gotten a better deal for themselves.
So who's on title at this point? Who owns the land?
Spain.
Who was that?
Spain owns it.
on title.
So Spain was on title. France had an agreement. Napoleon had made an agreement, essentially. I don't know what the agreement looked like, but Napoleon had made like a treaty with Spain, and part of the treaty was that they would get control of the Louisiana Purchase, whatever you would call that, but it was like 14 states, like all are part of 14 states.
The Southeast.
Yes.
America.
Yes. And so they had like negotiated to own it at some point, but they technically didn't own it at the time.
Yeah, so Spain controlled it since 1762, and then Napoleon reacquired sovereignty before selling it. So essentially, he created the deed.
He double closed.
Yeah, he created the deed and then sold the deed.
He took control. He got control.
Yeah.
He got control right
in
before,
that aspect, he's just a wholesaler, like you said, right? He's just he goes to the seller who's ready to really just essentially do whatever. He creates the value.
Spain was.
Yeah. It's like doing a land use. He creates some entitlements and then sold the entitled project.
So why would Spain want to give it to Napoleon?
It was part of a treaty from like a previous.
Yeah, the third treaty of San Ildefonso, implemented by the Treaty of Aranjuez in 1801.
You sound French.
Doesn't a
Dude,
treaty
I'm not bad at these.
Nice.
Don't you only form a treaty when you're like finishing a war?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But
Napoleon was kind of like the instigator and all that shit.
that dude was good at starting wars. Yeah. So the reason that he had to sell though was because he was about to go to war with Britain.
Yeah.
And he needed money, and so he had to sell something that he didn't even own yet. Sick. Okay. And so then
deal maker.
So Jefferson sends Monroe and Livingston over there. And Monroe, who's like, the funniest thing about this is that Monroe was like an OG American, obviously. He was part of the founding fathers. Like, he was one of the original presidents. But he was like super, super against government power. And so, like, he was big on the Constitution, like government should have as limited power as possible. And he goes over there and he has the signature from Jefferson for, essentially $10 million max price. You're buying New Orleans and the Floridas. And then he gets over there and Francois, what was his title? Francois, he was like the chief finance
minister of finance. Yeah. Or not the US, the minister of finance.
Yeah.
French,
so the French minister of finance.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I actually think that you guys would maybe want all 830,000 acres or something.
Yeah, so they
wasn't it something like that?
He offered the entire Louisiana territory, and they agreed to pay $15 million, so 50% more for 100 times larger the land.
Yes, yeah.
So that's all of the Midwest and the Southwest, and the West Coast,
Southeast,
North and Northwest.
Oh, the whole thing,
everything.
Yeah, and
like
so
70% of our land.
Monroe's sitting there thinking, "Dad gummit, like this is the best deal that I'm ever going to do." Like we won.
No, this gets better. So they signed first and then trusted Jefferson would approve later.
No,
'cause
yeah.
they only had $10 million to spend.
Well, they only had $10 million to spend, and you have to send a letter by transatlantic mail. So you're like trying to get a ship to go, and it's going to take weeks to get there, and then weeks to get back. And Napoleon was like, "Dude, I'm starting a war next week. Like, I need $15 million bucks."
Yeah, we don't have time.
And so, but they don't even
the $5 million in earnest money.
Were they
along
sending
with the
gold?
signed purchase agreement?
Were they sending gold?
No. So he's just sending mail.
Did you have US?
And then
Yeah, how are you paying this though?
No.
Like,
Well,
They
it'll get
did-
paid
yeah.
in gold back then, probably.
but it got financed by
How
a
did they get
British
paid?
bank. so,
Yeah, that makes sense.
a
So
British bank financed it, and then
Is that why they had the meeting in Britain so that they could escrow
assume
and
so,
finance
yeah.
the deal right
I
there?
assume so.
spin-off of the Rothschilds then probably financed America's gold to
Yeah.
then essentially.
Well, to like 12 mil or like 11 million of it was financed by a British bank, and then 3 million of it, or something over 3 million, was backed by like U.S. bonds.
Yeah.
And so they said, "We'll pay you this," and essentially Monroe just had to make a total judgment call, and then the British bank financed a war against Britain. Which, like, is that not the craziest thing you've ever
yeah.
heard? Like, I don't even know how that works.
He couldn't sell
How
it
does-
finance, so they syndicated
Yeah,
it.
he couldn't sell or finance.
Our number one investor is going to get bombed next week with bombs bought by the money they gave us
this is
from this
great.
deal.
Isn't that crazy?
They assumed $3.75 million of France debt, so they assumed
okay, yeah,
some
yeah.
debt to get. So then
Oh.
essentially
For the
that-
down payment.
Yeah,
So France had debt on it.
and then it was U.S. government bonds, 11.25.
So they had already been borrowing against it.
So it was a no money down deal.
Yeah.
It was a
100%.
promise for 11 million, and then I'll accept your promise. In
Yeah.
exchange.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you don't think
They
money is
took
real
over
today,
debt.
So
but
let's
in
go back to-
1803,
go back
money
to
was
it
not real at
Definitely
all.
wasn't real. No rules. Yeah, there were no rules.
Go back to Livingston and Monroe. So the conversation between those two, because Livingston is the minister to France, right? So he's like, well, this is the box that we have to negotiate in, and they got James Monroe. He's like, no, fuck that. We're gonna take this $15 million deal. We're gonna figure out how to finance it in this way, and we're gonna ship a letter back to Tom Jefferson with our plan.
Yeah.
Like Gabe, right? So it's you two out here trying to negotiate the deal, and you got to ship the letter back
We
to
signed
Gabe.
on behalf of Gabe.
And Gabe's like, yes, here's my promissory note in exchange for the $3.7 million of France debt and my commitment that we will go syndicate $11.2 million.
We'll go find the money.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure
I
it
thought
out.
they were just going to take the land. Or,
No, they bought it. Yeah, and then so they bought it at 3 cents an acre.
so in today's dollar, what do you think 15 million is worth
Wait.
comparable to
What
this?
do we think?
Two major
15
investment
million.
banks.
445 million.
I was gonna say probably not that much. Yeah,
445, that's it?
because it was 3 cents an acre. Like it wasn't. So I'm just thinking of what the
Seems like
acres
it'd be a
would
lot
cost
more
now.
than 445 million.
So two banks bought that $11 million. The Baring Brothers of London and Hope and Company from Amsterdam.
It does seem like it would be more than 445 though.
Yeah. 3 cents an acre.
Yeah, 30 times.
Hold on, there's multiple comparisons.
30 times.
It's
The dollar's
it's
gone down
billions.
by 30,
It's definitely billions.
Yeah, I would think so. But anyway, still super cheap.
445 million would be it would be like
Buy a
1,000 apartment
building.
units.
Yeah, you'd
If
buy
we
a
could buy the
building.
whole southern half of the U.S. for 445 right now,
I'd take that deal.
We'd syndicate that.
I'd take that deal.
And then Napoleon also didn't get the full $11 million. He had to take a discount on the note. So they financed it
No
like
way.
a Kirby vacuum cleaner.
Say that again.
This is how Kirby vacuum cleaners financed.
Oh, so there's multiple comparisons in consumer price index CPI and inflation. It's 445 million for labor or income value. It's 13 billion for wealth or asset comparison. It's 16 billion, and for like GDP or economic share, it's tens of billions of dollars.
Yeah, that's what I would call it. Tens of billions.
Yeah. All right, you want to get back to Kirby vacuums?
Yeah, you can.
So
I
when
don't
they're I mean,
understand it.
you think about this for a second. 10 million was a lot
Yeah.
of money.
No, it's huge.
And to
15.
broker a deal at 15, you're like, oh, it's
Yeah.
only 5 million, but it's
Yeah.
like, no, imagine they're brokering $100 billion deal,
Yeah.
and we got to go another 50 billion.
Yeah.
That's really the
But
gravity.
when
of it.
money's not real, like it's just not real.
You got a lot more of it too. Or
There's
you got
got to be a lot
land
more
with
not
it.
real.
But did
about
it feel less real then, or more real? I mean,
Probably felt the same.
James Monroe felt terrible
I think
about it.
to these people, it never. You really think he did? Like,
No,
'cause
he
he's a
did. He writes about
politician?
it. No,
Okay.
no. Because he wasn't a politician. Like at
He
heart,
feels terrible
so many,
about making the best real estate
so
deal
many of the
in history.
founding fathers
Or
were like,
gets dead.
well, no. He felt he liked the deal obviously so much that he did it
Yeah.
in like total dissent to his own beliefs about the power of the government. But his whole thing was like, we're putting ourselves in, like, we're putting the American people in debt essentially. I'm making a judgment call that at the time was massive. Like it was a lot of money and he knew that. And his whole thing was that no individual should ever be able to make he was a firm believer in democracy. Like that was the whole problem with that was why they left. Like they wanted to come to America so that people made the decisions. He's the one who helped write the Constitution.
Power to the people.
And it was like his whole thing was like one dude should never be able to make a decision like that.
And then he
he
made
was
it.
and then he was like, but I'm going to be honest, I think everybody would agree this is a good decision.
That's
it
what
was such a
motivation
good
does,
deal.
right? You lose the ability for democracy. You use the ability to go to market. You have to make decisions fast. You have to make decisions with agency. You have to move on.
Yeah, it can't be done by committee.
Yeah. Yeah. So going back to the finance mechanism, so the way Kirby vacuums are sold is the dealer who sells the actual vacuum, like most of them are sold on finance, right? So there's always a cash price, but then based on the credit rating, they get less of a discount rate. And so when you're selling Kirby vacuums, if you sell to someone with a like 700 credit score, you make more money because you get more money from the actual bank that finances
Get a bigger spread.
Yeah, so the banks financed $11 million, but then Napoleon took less than $11 million to get the deal done.
Yeah.
So there was a 6% interest rate, but it was a juiced return.
There's a spread.
Yeah, because their note's bigger than what the cash payout actually was to Napoleon.
So why wouldn't we just take the land?
Why wouldn't we just take it?
Why did we have to write a check to begin with?
How much would that cost in like
War?
Well, I was going to say because Napoleon was good at killing people, like historically.
But did he have armed forces here?
They had control of New Orleans.
Did we have?
Yeah. They had total
organization?
control of New Orleans. Yeah, and so like they
he also had to ship his army back to Britain. Like,
I don't know if that was like an instant thing because like there was obviously a lot of
Let's see what chat
agreement within that, but no, I think that they stayed.
Just take him to war and blow him up.
You should type rather than.
But because we didn't have the military power at the time to take over like that
they
portion
couldn't
of
win the fight.
No, they couldn't have won the fight. But then second of all, if we had tried to take it over, the biggest purpose of it was that we were going to get control of the port in New Orleans and Florida.
You don't want to
And
destroy.
Napoleon had all the ships. And so it's like, even if you win the battle on the land, which we wouldn't have, Napoleon's never going to let that go. He's going to blow up every ship. Like it was all for trade. And so it's like, he's never going to let anybody leave. He has total control of it. He has all the ships down there.
and in
Controls
war,
the ports.
He controls the ports. He who controls the ports controls the trade.
And then via war versus a sale. With the sale, it's internationally recognized that this is your land versus a war gets fought over.
Convoluted.
Yeah.
So how does title work on this?
They had a deed.
They created a deed
Yeah.
from sovereignty.
Also, I
How
misspoke.
did you get sovereignty? What type of a deed was created?
It wasn't 828,000 acres. That sounded really small. It was 828,000 square miles.
There you go.
Yeah. That's insane.
There was no deed. It was an international treaty.
Hectares.
Hectares.
So it's just a treaty between sovereign nations. And so is that why land was just given free? Because they don't actually own it. They just have rights to it. And then by allowing a citizen to claim land, then now there's a deed created in that process. But at some point they had to create the 160 acre quarter sections. Like they divided land into sections and quarter sections. You know, like Oklahoma and the story of Oklahoma Soomers. You just got to go out and claim
Homestead.
land.
You got a homestead.
homestead.
As long as you improve it and farm it, then you can have
40
it.
acres and a mule.
That was the OG value add deal. You got to go out there, build a house on it, start farming it, and then it's
no
your land.
government loan.
Yeah.
Well, you got the government loan on the debt, 0% loan on the land.
That's pretty sweet.
So
Those are the good old days.
Keeps Americans busy too, so that way they're not fighting. They're going and building shit.
Yeah, just go take some space out there. Go farm for a little bit. That's what people are meant to do.
So this helps expand the U.S. territory then to what eventually becomes the United
It was
States?
like 15 states. We bought like 15 states. James Monroe was like, dude.
So it basically doubled the size of the country at that time because we started with 13.
I mean, I don't really know what it would be considered because like nothing west of the Mississippi was really like taken
Mexico
over yet
was bigger.
at the time.
Like Texas was Mexico and
California.
We were still fighting over all that in the 1800s. And there were a bunch of Native Americans at the time that were still living all west of the Mississippi.
Chat gets into this, like there wasn't really clear title.
No.
You have
not on anything.
Just a bunch of treaties.
On the West Coast.
And then you have treaties with natives. And
So then how did Spain come out of that? Because they technically owned it. So there must have been...
Well, so Napoleon had already agreed to a price, quote unquote.
Out of the treaty, he got control. So really all they were doing is just passing the control from Spain to the U.S.
He bought it for 3, sold it for 15.
He's just a middleman. And it financed his war.
Double closed the baby.
They bought the rights to the treaty.
With the debt from Britain so he could go to war with Britain.
With Britain, yeah. So then a British bank blew up Britain.
Why would they finance that?
Because it's a private individual.
It's a bank.
It's a private bank, not the government. The government didn't finance it.
Do you think that bank moved after that?
These are the people. These are the people that are above the consultants for the politicians who are the puppets.
I mean,
and they
we
just don't care who blows up who because they're in their bunkers.
They're making money.
They're safe, sound in bunkers.
You know,
mo money.
You only need like $2 million to start a bank.
$2 million to
I
start
knew
a
that.
bank.
Yeah.
I watched some local dudes start a bank.
The Bank of Dave. Did you watch that movie? No. That's a thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Who started it?
Dave.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can start a bank. You want to do it?
He started a bank because he was just personally lending out money, and then all the other banks were getting mad at him because he was giving a lot of loans that they wanted to give, and he was giving it to unqualified people because he would just be like, seems like a good person.
This guy's nice.
And he had 100% like return rate on his money. And then so he started a bank called and this was in Europe somewhere. But yeah, he started his own bank and then he just gave loans. And I think it exists today still. It was a cool movie.
That's so funny.
The Bank of Dave.
That's sick. Yeah, so anyways, that was the greatest deal of all time. And Monroe did feel bad.
I don't know. I like the sixplex I bought a little better.
Would you trade your sixplex for all of the southeastern portion of the United States?
Seems like a lot of capex I would have to spend for that.
A lot of income though.
No, they just partialed it out, the CapEx, by
I guess I'd divide and sell it all. I might trade my sixplex for 15 states.
Seems like a pretty good deal.
So are you sure that's the best deal of all time? How did Jefferson feel about it once he finally got wind?
Oh, I actually don't know.
They never talk about what happened when they were like, hey, by the way, we spent 15, not 10.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
what was Jefferson?
I think he was stoked on it.
He had heard about the deal.
I feel like I remember he was stoked on it, but I might be making that
because he wouldn't have heard. I mean, technically, he heard about it maybe weeks later.
It was mixed.
He had mixed feelings.
Yeah. Immediately recognized his extraordinary bargain. He understood that secure control of the Mississippi. Then came panic. Do I even have the constitutional authority to buy another country?
Nope.
Yeah.
Didn't at the time.
And then another quote, the Constitution.
So they went outside of the Constitution right after they wrote the Constitution?
James Monroe wrote an amendment to the Constitution
so
while he was in Britain. He was like, I can't do this, but if I write an amendment to the Constitution, then I can. He nixed it, though. He was like, never mind. I can't
that's
do
probably, like, when you're sending this back to Jefferson, you have to tell him, like, this is the structure. Here's how we're going to get it done.
Yeah.
And Jefferson,
Here's the
amendment. Constitution has made no provision for our holding of foreign territory.
But isn't that like what? That's like 16 days. That's probably like 8 days to cross, right? And get that letter over there.
Yeah, it's weeks. There's no way.
It's
weeks. Yeah, it's weeks.
They didn't have time to wait.
They're sailing
for
off.
a
They're sailing off
amendment.
wind, right? Like at that point too, like just straight
They
wind.
might have had small diesel motors.
Really? Like our coal power? They wouldn't have had anything. No.
They would be sailing up.
This is a big deal, though, like the precedent that it sets. So this quote here is, so in a private letter, he said, we'll have to rely on the nation to sanction an act done for its greater good. I mean, that's the slippery slope.
That is a slippery slope.
Yeah. And as a founding
Who gets
father,
to decide what the greater good is?
Yeah. Because as a founding father, you now realize that the document you created and real life collide into interpretation.
Yeah.
So is this the document that Trump's going to use to go take Greenland?
How much does he try and buy that for?
Greenland?
Probably.
15 million?
Really?
I don't know.
No, there's no way.
Not that. He's just trying to match Louisiana Purchase. Trump's competitive, slightly under 15 million.
I mean, he's trying to pull off another Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah.
Is he actually trying to buy Greenland?
Who knows?
Man.
It might just be talk.
So how many people get put in this position? Jefferson was willing to bend his own philosophy rather than let the deal of a lifetime slip away.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he knew what it was. And in fairness, well, not in fairness, they're the ones that wrote it. So it's such a weird spot to be like, we might have actually missed a little bit.
But when you're writing, you're writing it to limit the powers of you.
Yeah. And then
you're like, immediately you're
it.
like, oh, but we can do a really good deal. We might have to bend these rules a little bit.
Actually, sometimes it's very helpful if I have a lot of power because I'm a smart man. I'm a very smart man.
To show that no matter how much you try to deconsolidate, that just takes too long. The world moves faster. And ultimately, that slows shit down. And to get stuff down, there has to be a level of consolidation.
But they did after the fact. They had it went to Congress, and there was a 24-7 vote of approval or something. And so they still
ratification.
They were still like, hey, can we do this? And then Congress was like, yes.
And what would have happened if they said they couldn't? They'd be like, hey, we want our money back. You can have.
So that's
your...
like,
I guess we'll never know.
You bought it
That's
all on
the
terms, so
it's the loan approval process.
Yeah, maybe it's like a house, like how if you don't like the house, you can return it after or before 30 days.
Just as the borrower, you're going as the corporation, you're going to all the shareholders.
The collateral on the note, so the collateral on the note was the deed, which gave the rights to all of this land, 830,000 square miles. The treaty.
Yeah.
So the bank is secured by what? Like, what are the
bank is secured by America's promissory note.
Yeah, I don't even know there's land.
And so when you're in a...
But the rights have value because we're willing to pay that much for it. So there's value. The bank recognizes that these rights in this treaty have value.
But the real guarantee was just the backing of the American government at the time.
I'd love to see the loan docs.
From a lender standpoint, the value in real estate isn't just the sticks and bricks. It's the rights. It's the bundle of rights that go along with it. So this is establishing the bundle of rights.
Yeah.
So what happens in the instance where America defaults on this note? Like you're a private banker, and you
hold the treaty, and then it goes back. Now these private bankers would own the treaty.
Britain.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Because now it'd be transferred from a government over to a private individual who would have the rights to this land.
So then they would have multiple governments bidding to own this land. Like from a lender standpoint,
like a whole other war could have broken out.
Pay 3 1/4
Think of it this way:
per acre.
How much of a loan did they give? They probably gave like a $7 or $8 million loan for what someone's willing to pay $15 million for.
Yeah.
And this is the cheapest country in the world. So what's a really deep-pocketed country going to do?
Yeah.
Now, this really cheap wholesaler or this really new buyer on the street, random syndicator, doesn't really have a track record. That France is in a pinch is like, fuck it, I'll take it. You guys, it makes most sense to you. You say you can get it done. I'll trust you. You get it done. Mm-hmm. I mean, as the bank, what if you took it to the open market?
That's so sick.
Spain and whoever won the Britain-France war and Germany and Russia and China. Like
this was 225 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. That's not very long ago. Very, very recently, we were like, yeah, we'll take America.
So essentially, if you think about it, if you have the mindset that you don't own your property, the bank does, which I don't agree with, these guys owned the majority of America.
At least the part
that's
that had been
wild thought.
The part that had been homesteaded.
Well, I guess you think about it, the bankers. I mean, if
they own everything.
From that lens, technically they have the
How'd
default
that bank
rights.
have $15 million, which was tens of billions of dollars?
They had a lot of money.
But even go back to there was tens of billions. A way to evaluate it on an inflation adjusted. Mm-hmm. They literally printed that amount of money, or that's what they did. They just printed it.
You think the Bank of Britain did that at the time? It would have had to been backed.
Well, I mean,
by
America printed it. America printed $11 million.
Yeah. But it would have still been backed by gold at the time, right?
Is because weren't all currencies?
Bonds. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some level of backing.
I think it would have been backed, and the British bank would have had to back it.
But the American
with gold.
government didn't have any money, so there's no way they had that level of gold.
Probably
Hey man, we got it sitting in the mines in the Louisiana Purchase.
Dude,
We'll
I
just
don't
go
know
mine
if you
it
know, we
out.
got a bunch of gold over there. I don't know if you've ever
We're about
traversed
to
the
have the most
Mississippi.
productive labor force you've ever seen.
Oh, that's so true. That's so sick to me.
That's what you're doing. It's jobs. You just secured jobs for the future.
Well, the biggest thing was the trade system because that was the
Yeah,
biggest
the whole economic.
port.
The
So what happened to Napoleon's boats once that happened? Because now
Sailed
you take
back.
control, so they just send them back. So they send back their. So like it's over. Like at that point, they don't have
That's
control.
my understanding, yeah.
He's like, I got the money I need to fight the war. Ship everybody back. So send the boats. Do whatever. Don't control the port.
Better hop on. Yeah. Can you? I bet a bunch of people stayed though. You know what I mean? I bet they were stoked.
How many French army president? How many got shipped away? Army men. I called them army men.
Can we just bring up ChatGPT and we'll just have
Pull it up, Jamie.
Our fifth host is ChatGPT.
Oh, he didn't have a significant military force, which was one reason he was willing to sell it.
Oh,
Because
really?
They never really got control.
Couldn't really
of
protect it.
Oh, of New Orleans or of like the whole?
So think of it this way:
region.
you've got two people that are
Is that of the
fighting
port,
over,
though?
It
Or is
just
that
said
of the whole
20 to
region?
30,000 troops. Yeah, it says Louisiana.
Okay.
He never successfully reoccupied Louisiana.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you got 30,000 dudes in a port,
So the disastrous campaign in Saint Domingue, modern Haiti. So tens of thousands of French soldiers died in Haiti. He lost his leverage over America,
yeah.
Wow.
and he was created.
I used to
by
think
Britain.
history was boring.
So this is like
There's deals in there.
You paint a story, it's fun.
So compare Napoleon to Hitler. So Hitler was dumb enough to fight both sides, east and west. Napoleon said, "We're not going to fight a battle in two different seas, two
Yeah.
different ports."
Trevor, you having fun?
What do you think about this deal, Trevor? What would you have done differently
Yeah.
if you were Monroe?
Would you have broken the Constitution?
He doesn't care about the Constitution. He cares about deals.
I don't know why they didn't buy more.
He should have got Spain involved. Like, no, we need to get a three-way going here. Spain, what kind of rights are you going to add to this? Because this treaty just doesn't really cover what we want it to.
Yeah, we'll take Spain too.
Yeah.
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 No, that's sick. All right, that was all I had.
I
That
think
was
that's
my
a
deal
great
of the day.
twist. In fact, I think we should go back in time and invent a portal and go assist James Monroe in getting a little bit sweeter deal for America.
I would have loved to meet that guy.
Dude.
Founding father.
Thomas
killer.
Jefferson for sure, dude.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
true.
love to meet that guy. Or Hamilton and Jefferson.
It's a good play.
All right. Well, happy birthday, America. And I guess that's one of the reasons why we're here celebrating 250 years is because we did a good deal.
God bless.
They were deal
America.
junkies.
Oh, yeah.
Monroe
Oh, yeah.
was.
Dude, the ultimate deal to leave. Like, they had to negotiate to leave.
That's
Wait.
so sick.
Yeah.
Coolest deal of all time. All right,
Let's
Are we
go.
wrapping it up?
wrap her up.
All right. Hey, Deal Junkies, if you want to book a call with us, anybody calling us?
Yeah. And there's a bunch of free resources on there if you're trying to figure out how to invest.
So dealjunkiespodcast.com. You can get some free resources for your deals. You can book a free call. We just want to talk to you about your deals and help you buy more real estate.
Oh yeah.
Deal Junkies, hey, we love you guys. Please share us with someone you love, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out.